Diancie, a really interesting mythical Pokemon with one really good type and one not so great type. Fairy Rock is a very interesting defensive typing, and we're going to be trying out Diancie that has access to base 150 defenses and seeing how well it can perform in Regulation J. This is a team based on Michael Kelch's Reg I NAIC team with Diancie over Calyx Ice Rider. Let's quickly break it down. So this was a very popular Miraidon team in Regulation I and normally had clear Amulet Calyx Ice Rider over the Diancie slot, but I thought Diancie could go pretty well with this combination, especially because Diancie has a lot of great defenses, and also I felt that the idea of having the Electric Seed, which is able to increase the defense on the Diancie when paired with Miraidon, would be a really solid pairing to have here. I also felt like this team had some pretty good tools to help support the Diancie, especially with the support, of course, with Incineroar, alongside the Amoonguss that is able to go for the Pollen Puff, as well as redirect the attacks, especially from the Urshifu. And Urshifu is a pretty big problem for Diancie, unlike the Cali Ice that was able to tank the Surging Strikes pretty well. The fact that Diancie doesn't appreciate that, so having Pokemon like Miraidon that's able to threaten the Rapid Strike Urshifu as well as the Amoonguss could be a very nice factor here. And Diancie can also support the Miraidon because this team also did lack a Dragon switch in, so having an actual Fairy type did seem pretty promising, alongside having access to an option where I can actually threaten Terapagos with this team, because the fact that the original team didn't have the best pressure into Terapagos initially, so having that body press that's able to actually threaten Calm Mind Terapagos is very solid to have here. So let's break down the team real quick. We do have pretty much the standard Choice Scarf Miraidon running the Terra Electric to power up its electric type moves, Hadron Engine summoning the electric terrain, boosting the special attack of the Miraidon while in that electric terrain, Electric Drift and Volt Switch for really strong electric type moves, Draco Meteor and Snarl to help out against special attackers, especially that Calyx Shadow Rider. TV spread here, it's pretty simple. It's able to outspeed a lot of the common Choice Scarf mons like Urshifu, Chi-Yu, and sometimes the Landers Incarnates that you'll encounter. Otherwise, you do want to run some bulk and max special attacks since you're not running Choice Spec, so you want all the damage output that you can have initially. And 132 HP does give you an HP set of 192, which is actually pretty nice because that gives you an extra HP recovery from grassy terrain, which of course against Miraidon, Rillaboom is pretty much a bring against the Miraidon on a lot of builds. Then we have the standard Urshifu with the Stellar Terra to boost up its attacks even further, Focus Sash to allow it to live one strong hit, Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Aqua Jet, and Detect, pretty standard with max attack and max speed with Inanimate Nature. It's pretty simple that this Urshifu is really just able to help out against Landers Incarnate, which Miraidon doesn't appreciate, able to threaten just a lot of Pokemon in general, especially with the Surging Strikes. And yeah, it's really solid to have here, especially because Urshifu really strong, of course. Close Combat, which was able to help out against Terapagos, which the team did again when it had Cali Ice, was a way to be able to hit it, and is still able to put on a really good amount of offensive pressure with this team. Then you also have Assault Vest Incineroar, really great paired with the Miraidon especially. Intimidate is going to be the ability to lower the attack on both opponents' sides. With the Bug Terror type, that is really useful as a great defensive typing into super effective fighting as well as ground type attacks. And the moveset of Flare Blitz, Knockoff, Fake Out, and U-Turn. It's a pretty standard Incineroar, which is pretty solid. And the only thing that's noticeable about this Incineroar is sometimes on Miraidon with Assault Vest Incineroar, you tend to see like Jolly Max Speed to be able to outspeed a lot of the Rillabooms in the format, so you'd be able to go for like a Volt Switch plus Flare Blitz, Pin, and KOD Rillaboom in a lot of cases. But I do remember that this Incineroar tended to be pretty bulky, and we're gonna go with like a decent amount of speed to be able to outspeed some stuff, especially like some of the slower Incineroars in the format. But overall, I don't think it's absolutely necessary, especially when you are running Trick Room on the team. So I decided that just having a lot of bulk and be able to tank attacks, of course, from Calyx Shadow Rider, which is pretty important, being able to switch into that Astral Barrage I think is really nice. And we're going with a pretty defensive one with 244 HP, 92 defense, 52 special defense with the Assault Vest is just really able to take amounts of damage. 36 attack with Inanimate Nature gives you an extra stat point in its attack stat, so it'll actually be able to do some pretty good damage to like Calyx Ice Rider and Amoonguss and a bunch of other Pokemon that Incineroar can hit for its really good defensive typing. We have Amoonguss as well with the Rocky Helmet. The Rocky Helmet physically defensive Amoonguss is just really solid on the team. Just having another pivot into Urshifu is just always appreciated. Being able to survive a Calyx Ice Rider Glacial Lance, which is what the Eevee spread is supposed to do, is pretty solid as well. and the regenerator is just really nice to have. Of course, being able to pivot with both Volt Switch and U-turn on the team, just be able to get the Amoonguss healthy. And you might think, why Amoonguss on a Miraidon team? And that was the initial thought back when we first used like Miraidon and Amoonguss, but I felt like on this team it does make a lot of sense because we were able to see games where a lot of players would just opt to bring Rillaboom so the Miraidon doesn't get out of hand, and if they do bring Rillaboom, then Amoonguss can actually go for Spore and threats and stuff. It's a great switch into Zamazenta, which the team does kind of lack. So having Amoonguss being able to have recovery, that Spore, and Rage Powder is just really nice to have here. It's just a great defensive Pokemon in general, and it actually works pretty well with Miraidon. Even though like sometimes there will be awkward situations with electric terrain, it's actually able to put in a lot of work on this team. Then we also have the Landorus Incarnate with the Life Orb and the Sheer Force, which of course is just a fantastic pairing with that Steel Terra, which is great against Cali Ice Rider Glacial Lands, but also being able to resist Draco Meteor from opposing Miraidons. And this Landorus can actually live a Draco Meteor from Miraidon, even a Choice Specs one, so that's actually pretty important when going for Terastallization. And you do have really great offensive tools with Earth Power and Sludge Bomb, able to hit a majority of the format. Taunt, which is really nice into Trick Room teams, into Wide Guard, as well as just being able to help out against like potential Amoonguss, Redirection, and more. So it's a pretty nice move to have here. And then Protect, of course, to keep itself around. This EV spread, again, it's more of a slower Landorus because you do want to be able to tank again like Draco Meteor from Miraidon, because you don't really have the best forms of speed control other than Trick Room. So just having a bulky Landorus that's able to take advantage of the Trick Room is actually pretty solid. And Landorus is a pretty bulky Pokemon. It can be able to take stuff like the attacks from the Calyx Shadow Rider pretty well with the Astral Barrage. So just having especially defensive Landorus in the car is actually really nice. The EV spread allows you to speed creep Raging Bolt with this 60 speed. Otherwise, you still have Modest with 36 special attack, which gives an extra stat point. A little bit weaker than the common Landorus we see, but still able to do massive damage with that Earth Power, especially with off of a Life Orb and Sheer Force boost. And overall, this Landorus Incarnate is just able to take attacks and do a lot of damage, of course. And then finally, how does Diancie really pair with this team compared to like a Calyx Ice Rider? And the idea of Diancie is being able to get that Electric Seed boost and really just be able to stick around. This Diancie spread that I have created was max HP, 164 special defense, and 92 physical defense. And the idea here is the body press initially, even with the Electric Seed, is a little bit weak, I will admit. However, the idea of Diancie is you have its signature move Diamond Storm, and what Diamond Storm does is it has a 50% chance to raise the user's defense by 2 stages. So even though it's +1 initially and the body press isn't like the most impressive damage, if you are able to get 1 Diamond Storm boost, it's actually able to do quite a bit afterward, and the body press just really stacks up, right? And that's kind of like the beauty of this combo, where you have like Volt Switch and Snarl support from the Scarf Miraidon. You have Incineroar, of course, with Fake Out and U-turn Intimidate, as well as the Amoonguss that's able to redirect attacks and heal up the Diancie. So it's really just hard to be able to break through this mon. I feel like it is a pretty good Wrecking Force with here that's able to take advantage. I think this is one of the best teams to pair with the Electric Seed Diancie. And yes, Diamond Storm I feel like is a pretty interesting move. It's a spread rock type move as well to also be a factor here. It's able to do a lot of damage, especially into like Incineroar and a bunch of the other Pokemon in the format like Torn. And of course, having body press to take advantage of the Electric Seed and then the Diamond Storm raises, I think is a no-brainer. Now, I think the hardest part for me was deciding if I wanted Moonblast on the Diancie or I wanted Protect. And I feel like Moonblast is really, really nice on Diancie. However, I just felt like you need to have scenarios where you need to be able to protect the Diancie. So I felt like Protect is just a better move here because, of course, as a Trickomon, it is quite threatened and usually will be prioritized to get knocked out. So that is the reason why I have Protect over Moonblast. It would be nice to have Moonblast and utilize its fairy coverage, but I felt like Protect was good enough. So the EV spread on this Diancie, you could tell it's really bulky, and the idea here is to be able to, you know, tank attacks, especially with the Electric Seed boost and the Diamond Storm off the physical side, so you don't need to invest too much into physical defense, but you have a lot of special defense. This is to be able to tank on, for instance, from a Miraidon, you're able to live a Choice Specs Electro Drift from a Miraidon in electric terrain, which is really impressive. And then also some stuff like you could live +2 Astral Barrage from Calyx Shadow Rider, and sometimes depending on the spread you could even live a Life Orb one, which is pretty impressive. And yeah, like overall Diancie is actually able to tank hits extremely well. And the idea of Fighting Terror is just to power up the body press you could run a bunch of different Terra types. I think fighting actually might not be the most optimal, mainly because I think having a defensive typing that's better into Calyx, Shadow Rider plus Zamazenta cores might be more efficient. However, I think that like any Terra type will really do on Diancie. I want to try out fighting, so I had like more initial like body press plus Terra fighting alongside the electricity boost. So just a +3 Terra fighting body press can actually get some surprising knockouts. So that's kind of the idea of running the Terra fighting set and just trying it out and see how well it can perform. But overall with this team, you have like quite a few different leads, and Miraidon could just lead with Diancie to go for the electric seed, you know, volt switch out with Miraidon, get in like a Moongus or Incineroar. You also have like a bunch of different leads. Miraidon's just flexible with any lead because it can just volt switch around, especially because with the Choice Scarf it's just such a fast threat that's just able to zoom across the field. And then of course you have like a lot of good leads. Urshifu can just lead with anything with its Focus Sash, is able to take an attack and dish out a good amount of damage with 30 strikes or close combat. Incineroar, of course, with the Intimidate, that's just able to lead, take out support, U-turn, and pivot. It's just really nice. Amoonguss can lead for redirection immediately, can threaten spores potentially, and of course Pollen Puff heal the ally. And Landorus Incarnate, of course, is really solid as a lead because you have the taunt option to stop your opponent from setting up potentially, and of course be able to threaten like opposing Miraidon. But yeah, there's just so many different lead combinations you can do. Diancie, Miraidon's effective. Diancie plus Incineroar, Diancie plus Amoonguss are pretty good ones. You also have like Miraidon that could just lead with anything. Miraidon Incin, Miraidon Diancie, Miraidon Urshifu. Miraidon, you kind of get the point. You can just lead with anything realistically with that Pokemon. Incineroar can lead with anything with like Incineroar Amoonguss, Incineroar, well, we've already talked about like all the other Incineroar leads. Of course, Incineroar Urshifu is a really good one. Yeah, there's just like so much you could really lead with this team. And the idea is you could just draw off a lot of damage. You could try to set up for a Diancie win, give it multiple opportunities to set up a Diamond Storm so you could get that chance to get the defense boost, heal it with Amoonguss. There's a lot of different ways you could play it. You could also play offensive. You could use Miraidon to either chip away at the opponent at the start of the game or really just like late game cleanup, because Choice Scarf Miraidon is really effective in both niches. And of course you have Urshifu, Landorus Incarnate that's able to really threaten amount of damage. Even Incineroar is able to do a lot of damage, and Amoonguss can just be able to heal up the ally, which is really solid. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could utilize this team. But otherwise, let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts about Diancie? Because I really think Mega Diancie was really cool. I remember using that Pokemon a lot in Gen 6 competitive, sometimes in doubles OU, but also sometimes in just OU itself, and it was a really fun time playing Diancie. I never really used a regular Diancie before, so this is going to be one of the first times I'm ever trying it. We'll see if it's able to perform well, but I'm not exactly too sure, so it should be a pretty fun one. Let me know your thoughts, and let's get started and play some games. Smeargle, Tornadus, Rillaboom, Ogerpon, Heartflame, Zamazenta, Calyx, Shower. This is a team that won Japan Nats, but it just has Ogerpon, Heartflame over Raging Bolt. Not my favorite build to deal with because Smeargle is really annoying. Granted, okay. The fact that they have Ogerpon Heartflame over Raging Bolt's actually really annoying. Even though it's better for my Miraidon theoretically, because I don't have to worry about like their dragon move. And I think Raging Bolt was like a big contributor to that matchup. It's still really weird, because my Terra on Diancie is not great in this matchup. There's like two different ways I can play this. It's either go with like Lando, which I might need for the Zamazenta, or I try to break through, or I just like ignore the Zamazenta with Amoonguss. But the problem with doing this is if it's Terra Grass Zama, then it's a problem. And I can't remember. I think it was Terra Grass Zama, so I don't think that's a great strategy here. Okay, this is gonna be a bit spooky. And I might want Incin here. I think I go with Diancie plus Incin with Miraidon, Lando back. I'm not confident in this. I can't figure out if Amoonguss was better or if Lando was better. I don't want to lead Miraidon because they could lead like Smeargle, Rillaboom. I know that was a common lead you would lead with the original Japan Nats team, but we're gonna see Ogerpon or Flame plus. Okay, wait, this is a really good lead for me. This is a really good lead for me. Surprised to see Ogerpon Heartflame lead. I'm trying to figure out what this accomplishes into Miraidon lead, but okay. I mean, you did get the Grassy Surge, but now I'm in a great spot since I didn't lead the Miraidon. All I have to do is I just click Diamond Storm right off the bat, and I'm going to switch out in my own Miraidon. Because if they go for Fake Out, this works out pretty well for me. And yeah, I don't really see Ogerpon Heartflame that much of a threat with +1 physical defense boost plus the Intimidate that I have, as well as we got rid of Grassy Terrain, so it's really not doing too much damage here. We will get the defense boost. I just want damage immediately and allow Miraidon to maybe wreak havoc, especially if they didn't bring Torn, which they probably didn't. You see Ivy Cudgel into Diancie. What? Maybe they expected a Terra? Okay, they doubled the Diancie. I should take this pretty well. Yeah. Ideally, I get a Diamond Storm boost. Okay, we hit, which is great. Good damage. Right on Rillaboom. Okay. No boost. Unfortunate. I think here all I need to do is just go for Diamond Storm, and I think I just Draco the Rilla. Yeah, I'm just gonna Draco the Rilla. Because if they switch out, that's fine. It's in the Zama, and if they give me Rilla, that means they can't change the terrain. So all I can do, I can spam Electro Drift in the end game, which is pretty good here. So I get rid of the Rilla, which is nice. And what does the Ogerpon do? That's for Grassy Glide, but like it does no damage, and I get a double knockout, so that's actually pretty good. I just got to make sure I don't mess up the end game, which depends on the, I think, the Calyrex, but I should be fine here. The problem is I am gonna have to sack one to Astral Barrage plus a Heavy Slam, but granted, I don't think this is a bad position. Zamazenta comes in. Ideally, this is the still Life Orb Calyrex. If it's Sash, we're gonna have problems. But I just go for Protect with Diancie, and I guess I just switch an instant. Actually, do I want to sack Diancie? 8 turns of Electric Terrain. I think I should be fine. You know what? I'm just gonna. Body Press doesn't do that much to Zalmas, so I think I'm just going to Diamond Storm the Calyrex in case it is Sash and go instant. They should always just Astral Barrage Body Press my Miraidon slot. Intimidate off into the Zama, which matters for Heavy Slam. Oh, we see a Terra, which is interesting. Wait, what Terra's here? Zama, okay. Into Grass. I mean, it's following the team pattern. I don't get to see if it's Life Orb, which is unfortunate. I could have also Trick Roomed, but granted, I don't think this is that bad. No, it's not bad at all. Yeah, this is fine. I get a free Diamond Storm off. Do I get a boost again? Does that allow me to live a Zamazenta attack? I kind of doubt it. I do get +5. All right, we go Miraidon, and I'm going to assume at this point that the Calyrex is most likely Life Orb. Because I don't think I have much of another play, because I don't really have much leeway here. So I think I just go for a Diamond Storm once again, and I think I go for my Terra Electro Drift into the Calyrex, because that will KO Calyrex. And if it survives, as long as it goes down to Life Orb Recall, Lando should win the 1v1 against the Zama, especially after the Intimidate. And Body Press doesn't knock out Miraidon either. So they go for Wide Guard actually to cover for Snarl, which is nice. Because as long as Electro Drift KOs the Calyrex, I'm in good shape. And actually what this matters too is I should be able to get a, even if it is Sash, I could still play a 50 Mind Game, which is great. Because if the Calyrex survived and it was Sash, they go for Astral Barrage, then I have a chance to either target a Calyrex, and if Calyrex protects, I can double up the Zamazenta and take the KO. with a Sludge Bomb Electro Drift, or I go for Electro Drift into Calyx, reading them not to protect. So I had like quite a few win cons there because they went for the Wide Guard especially. So this worked out really huge in my favor. Now I just win the game guaranteed because I can go for Body Press, and I'm not going to risk switching out. I'm just going to spam Electro Drift at this point because it doesn't really matter to me, because Lando in the back will always be able to survive an attack and fire off a Sludge Bomb. And after I get the chip damage, I just guarantee winning the Zama. So really nice. That still does a ton of damage, man. That's Terra Grass Zama. Body Press. How much does our Body Press do? +5. That's decent damage. That's decent damage. And now I just win because I click Body Press, I click Electro Drift. GG. Very nice. Okay. Had to play a bit aggressive there. I'm still very surprised on the lead. I also don't get why they Ivy cudgeled my slot immediately into the Diancie. Maybe they thought Diancie was switching out into the Miraidon, because I also did have a play of going for Fake Out plus switching the Diancie out if I wanted to, because that was also another reasonable play that I had, because then I could go for Draco Meteor plus like a U-turn. But I decided to get in hard Miraidon because I felt like, okay, if I get the Diamond Storm off, I'm in a pretty good shape, and I still have Volt Switch plus back to Instant. There were like quite a few things I could have done. So yeah, there were like multiple ways I could have probably played out to turn one, and I felt like both of them were pretty reasonable. And yeah, luckily it gave us a great start. The lead wasn't great for my opponent. We were able to super capitalize and was just able to get a ton of damage right off the bat. All right, we have Koraidon, Calyx, Shadow Rider with Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, Whimsicott, and Landers Incarnate. This is a very heavy special attack. They have all special attackers besides Koraidon. All right, what do I want to go against this team? Probably still lead Miraidon, right? I feel like Miraidon lead is pretty decent here. The goal is to get Trick Room up. The question is, how do I get Trick Room up without getting Encored, which is not going to be an easy situation. Mungus is like not great here. Assault Vest Instant's really good offensively. I think Diancie plus Miraidon makes the most sense to me. Landers offensively is pretty good, and then Incineroar in the back. So let's see how this goes. I'm leading the Miraidon because Miraidon's faster than most of my opponent's tools other than the Fluttermane, and because of Photosynthesis, and then any of the Scarf Mons that they could potentially have. We're gonna see Landers Koraidon, which is fine. Okay. Because I lead Diancie plus my Miraidon. I would have liked Instant as a lead better, but I still think that this is acceptable. So the question is, what do I want to do? I could go for Draco Meteor. I could go for Snarl. I have a few different plays. I could go Lando for my Miraidon if I expected the Koraidon to go for protecting them Earth Powering with a Terra. I think my best play is to attempt to get the Trick Room up. I think I need to save Terra. Because I can't Volt Switch out Koraidon, because if they protect, I lose. They know my Miraidon's faster than the Koraidon. I think I just Trick Room attempt, and I think I just Draco the Lando. If they have Steel Terror, it's not great, but no protect. I do get a crit on the Landers. Probably unlikely it mattered unless it's like a really bulky Lando, but on Tailwind offense, I kind of doubt it. That's great for me. What does the Koraidon go for? Dragon Claw. Okay, that works out. I get a free switch. I get a free switch to Lando, which is great. Life Orb Koraidon. Okay. Life Orb Dragon Claw. Huh. Like, I was pretty sure with the Electro Seed I was living any attack from the Koraidon, so Lando was the biggest threat there, but that works out huge for me. I get to go out into my own Lando, and Earth Power is threatening a lot of damage. They go Calyx, which is perfect because I can go for Diamond Storm Earth Power into the Koraidon. And I will target the Koraidon because I think Koraidon's actually a bigger threat right now. I'm going to go for Diamond Storm, and I am going to go for Earth Power. Or I could Earth Power to Calyx, but I actually don't know if Diamond Storm, Earth Power, KOs Calyx. Koraidon protects. Is this protect from Calyx? Okay, they do double protect here, which is fine. Okay. Like, Koraidon's honestly the biggest threat because once I get a Koraidon, their answers to instant are gone, right? I eliminated Lando earlier in the game, and Koraidon's the only one standing. So I think I always just target down the Koraidon slot because nothing switches in a Diamond Storm Earth Power Ball other than Whimsicott, but I don't assume they brought Whimsicott at this point. Also gets rid of Chiyu, so no Beads of Ruin activation. So I do like just Diamond Storm and Earth Power the most here into the Koraidon slot. I think I should knock out Life Orb, Sheer Force, Earth Power plus Diamond Storm, but we'll see. We are going to see the Koraidon switch, which is fine. Into Flutter Mane. So Flutter Mane's going down to Diamond Storm plus Earth Power. And if I do get the boost on the Diancie, Diamond Storm Earth Power is a play I have in the Calyrex the following turn. So Diamond Storm does come out. Actually does a lot to Flutter Mane. I thought that was going to do less to Flutter Mane. Nice defense boost. Earth Power going to take the KO into the Flutter Mane. So Flutter Mane goes down. Nice. And Astral Barrage won't knock me out. Yeah, they go for Astral. Ooh, that did nothing, actually. That did nothing. I thought that was going to do more to Diancie, but Diancie tanks that. What? Okay. I'm not complaining. I'm just going to Diamond Storm. I'm just going to Earth Power the Calyrex slot. Because Koraidon might protect, and they might go for a desperate measure of, like, attacking with the Calyrex here. Okay, they just go for Double Protect again, which is surprising, but it works out for me. Because I am mixing up my targets, so they don't have a guarantee. They have to get the next target right and go for a Double Protect with that slot and get an attack with the other slot. So the question is, which slot are you going to target down? I think I go for the Koraidon slot. Actually, it's weird because the biggest threat is technically the Calyrex. I have +3 Diancie. I think I just Earth Power. They did get the play right. They did go for a Double Protect attempt to Calyrex, but luckily... Oh, wait. Okay, I missed the Koraidon. That's not as bad. I needed to... I don't know if Earth Power knocked out the Calyrex at that range. I needed the Diamond Storm to hit the Calyrex, because the damage didn't really matter on Koraidon too much unless I was going for the Earth Power double up. So that actually worked out in my favor because I needed, if I doubled up, I needed to go for Earth Power or Diamond Storm. But yeah, close combat actually does like no damage. But yeah, they actually made the right play because this would have put me in a really bad spot if they did get a Double Protect. Thankfully, they didn't get the Double Protect. And now Diancie plus Landorus should win because they don't have spread move that can affect both of my Pokemon, and all I can do is just set up a Trick Room and Earth Power and I win. Maybe I should just... Actually, I should have Body Pressed. I should have Body Pressed because I can fake out Trick Room the next turn, assuming Diancie gets the attack off. They go for Dragon Claw into Lando. Lando goes down. So I guess if they get, what, 4 Protects in a row? Yeah, they need 4 Protects in a row. But even then, I don't think they knock out Diancie after they get intimidated from my instant. I'm pretty sure I have this sealed. I'm going to go for Flare Blitz because I actually want them to keep their Life Orb. Actually, I have Terra. I could just go for Terra, Body Press. Actually, no, it shouldn't matter. Body Press should definitely KO with Flare Blitz. Like, a double up should definitely KO to Koraidon. I just go for the double up anyway. Because if I need the Terra on instant, I'll go for the Terra on the last turn. Like, if they do get, for some reason, 4 Protects on the Koraidon, I think having the Bug Terra on instant is a better guarantee. Or then go for the Body Press and then... Or go for the Terra Fighting and then they get 4 Protects, stall out my Trick Room, and then KO Diancie for the following turn. Which I don't think they can. I really don't think Close Combat takes a knockout. They're going to Terra here, which is going to be out into Fire. But even if they do that, that's still fine. Fighting. I did Body Press, right? I didn't Diamond Storm. Okay. Okay, yeah, we KO'd a Koraidon. Fighting Koraidon was something, but you know what? We'll take it. I think I just got a good trade right off the bat with the Draco Meteor, unless they were bulky Landorus, which I don't know if they were. Like, I just got a free Draco into the Landorus slot, got the knockout there, and then it would have still played out pretty much the same, which I'm very happy about. And yeah, like overall, just getting the Trick Room up and just being able to sweep with Lando was a pretty big contributor to me winning. All right, we're going to see Koraidon, Incineroar, Entity Female, Fluttermane, Lunala, and the Brubonnet. Very scary matchup for sure. Not going to be an easy one. Diancie's like okay, but it's not incredible in this matchup. I'd probably still bring Incin. I bring Diancie. I bring Miraidon. I'm thinking Lando or Moongus is going to be a big one. And I am debating about going... The problem is the Entity with Psychic Terrain means it can block Fake Out and it can change my terrain. So Miraidon is less effective here. I think I still lead Miraidon regardless. I think Miraidon plus Diancie's not a terrible lead, and have Urshifu, or not Urshifu, Instant for sure in the back. I think I bring Lando. I could see myself bringing a Moongus, but I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Although the healing would be nice, I think having more offensive pressure in the Koraidon is always correct. But let's see how this goes. Urshifu is just not that great into this team. So let's see. Koraidon Instant. Okay, this is probably pretty okay as a lead here for me, because I do lead Instant plus Diancie. It should be Fake Out Miraidon because they know I'm faster, and they're probably going to go for like a close combat also into the Miraidon. So I think my best play here, although they don't know what set I am with the Diancie, they don't know if I have a fairy move or not, which is huge. I think my best play is just to go Lando for the Miraidon slot and Trick Room. Diancie should live any attack with the Electric Seed boost anyway, so I think Lando's always correct. It's also like the least valuable mon here for me. The question is, do I Diamond Storm immediately or do I go for Trick Room? Because honestly, having the because if I Trick Room, I'm a bit worried about them just protecting switch to Entity. I guess that gives me momentum to get potentially like multiple Diamond Storms off. I guess Trick Room is correct. Yeah. So we'll switch out to the Miraidon to go out in the Lando. I'm hoping that this is on a Fake Out plus Fighting Move combination into the Lando slot. It is Fake Out. Yep, they did close combat. That's going to do a lot. Yep. Okay. It is Life Orb confirmed. And Trick Room goes off. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Lando took a lot of damage, but it's acceptable. I think I'm just going to go out in an instant to get Intimidate off, and then I'm just going to Diamond Storm for fishing the defense boost. I also like having instant because it's pretty good offensively here, because they're probably going to go for like a knockoff or Flare Blitz into my Lando slot, and Koraidon probably protecting because they don't know my moveset on Diancie. So I like the idea of just Diamond Storming here, potentially fishing for those defense boosts so I can really stick around on the field with the Diancie. I also like getting in the Incineroar to threaten an Entity or a Lunala if they try to get in, or maybe a Bonnet. So get Intimidate off onto these Pokemon. Koraidon switches out. Okay. Entity? Okay. That means they can't Fake Out. I can't Fake Out either, but that's fine. I do get a pretty free Diamond Storm. They're probably going to go for the KO on the Lando, I imagine. Psychic Seed. And I get multiple turns to get a Diamond Storm boost, potentially, which is nice. Diamond Storm. Decent damage to Incin. Nice. +3. Yep, as I said, they are going to try to attempt to Flare. That's perfect. I think... Flabber's not gonna... Is Flabber's gonna KO Entity at that range? Maybe. I think my best play is just to go for the double up into Entity with Flare Blitz Diamond Storm. Yes. Oh, they have Protect. Okay, that's not what I expected, but that works out fine for me. Because I do Diamond Storm. If we hit the Instant, we should KO? Question mark? Ooh, just barely not a knockout. Okay. Go for Parting Shot. I mean, what are they going to go into? Lunala? If they go Lunala, my best play is probably just a U-turn back into Miraidon and Diamond Storm. Lunala comes in. I have no idea what the speed tiers are too. That's a big thing. Like, what are the speed tiers here? They're going to be pretty big. Body press, I don't know if it knocks out Entity. Because I'm pretty skeptical on it. I think I just go for a U-turn into Entity, and I think I just Diamond Storm. I think this is probably Follow Me. I don't know if they have Meteor Beam, because that's going to be a good question. Because if they have Meteor Beam, I guess it could be concerning. Granted, I still don't think this is a terrible slot. They're going to Terra here with the Lunala. I guess they're not clicking Follow Me. They might go for Helping Hand. Terra Fairy, that makes sense. All right, no Follow Me, which is interesting, but Diamond Storm crits to Entity, crits to Lunala. Okay, get a +5, which is very nice. Okay, my instant's faster. I get a U-turn off. It doesn't KO the Entity, so it's not like that big of a deal. I get to go out into my Miraidon because I'm making sure that they don't go for Expanding Force here into my Diancie and get a ton of damage off that way. Go for Psychic. Okay. I take that pretty well. Meteor Beam as well. This is probably what was into my Ensign. Okay. That's fine. They also can't damage my Ensign much anymore, which is nice. Okay, I like this position actually, because I think I just threaten an Electro Drift into the Lunala, and I think I just get a Diamond Storm off again. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. If they protect, that's cool. Yep, they protect Entity, but I get an Electro Drift off into Lunala, or they go for the KO into my Miraidon, but I'm fine with that, because if they KO my Miraidon, I get a free instant, and then I can go for like Fake Out Trick Room. I am +6 defense on Diancie too, which is nice. They go for Moongeist Beam into the Diancie. Okay. My Diancie is heavily weak, but I do get the KO onto Lunala, which was probably their biggest offensive threat now. All I have to deal is with the Koraidon. The Lunala goes down, and now I'm in a pretty decent spot, I'd say. Sunlight fades, which is unfortunate because it would have been great if it was able to stick around for more turns. So Koraidon couldn't reset it. This should always be Koraidon. This is a very interesting spot. I think I always just Electro Drift to the Entity, and I think I just always go for a Trick Room attempt. Because if they don't KO Diancie, they just lose the game. So they have to target Diancie, which means Miraidon gets to spam Electro Drift around. I could see them going for like a Entity swap to Instant so they can change the terrain. That would actually be really smart of them. I should have thought about that. Well, you can't really do that though, because I just trust in Draco Meteor actually. Because they don't know my item. So yeah. Go for an Electro Drift, KO the Entity. That's nice. And now I get to go Instant and threaten Fake Out. I guess they can still threaten Flame Charge, but the Koraidon can only go for single target moves. They go for close combat and they lower their defenses, which is huge. And they take another round of Life Orb, which is actually really important here. Because now we can go to Instant, and we're going to see like what the speed tiers are. Whose Instant is faster is going to be a pretty big one. Instant comes in. Terra, it's either... I could Terra my Instant, but I think I go for a Terra on Miraidon always. My Instant's faster, so this is perfect. I think I guarantee win here then. Because I really doubt our Instants are speed tying. I have like a very... It's not like the weirdest speed stat, but it's definitely not like the greatest one. In terms of electric terrain, yeah, I should have the sealed. I go for Terra Electric Drift into Koraidon and Fake Out the Instant on their slot. I'm going to be forfeited, yeah. It was just like really unlikely they won because my Miraidon's faster than Koraidon and I just threatened too much there. They had to KO the Diancie too because if Diancie survives, it gets a Trick Room up and then it's just GG because Diancie outspeeds everything on their team and then they can't do anything because the Diancie just sweeps with body press, especially next to an Instant still around. And otherwise, like Miraidon was like, the thing is, if you target the Diancie, the Trick Room mode goes up. If you ignore the Miraidon outspeeds and threatens like Okos on everything. So yeah, it was just like really tough for them. All right, we're gonna see Terapagos, Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Grimmsnarl, Urshifu, Volcarona, and Rillaboom. Well, I guess Terapagos isn't the worst because I have Body Press Diancie, and since I can Diamond Storm a bunch, it's not like awful. This isn't like the most ideal game though, but yeah, I do like Diancie a lot. Did I bring Ensign? Because I'm debating about going like Amoonguss, and Miraidon. I do feel like Diancie Amoonguss is actually the best lead because I want to go for Spores and threaten the Terapagos with the sleep turns. I think I always bring Ursh for the close combat threat. And do I bring Instant or do I bring Miraidon? Because I think having the speed is more important to threaten the Calyrex. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. This could go horribly wrong, but I think it's kind of worth trying out because I'm interested to see if this actually works. Because I'm used to the Cali Ice game plans against this, but I'm not really used to... Oh wait, this could be Specs too. Wait, is this Specs? Are you Specs Terapagos? I don't know if Diancie lives to Earth Power, but I can't... Here's the thing. If it's Specs and it's going to blow something up, I could double protect, but the problem with that is if I double protect and they just go for free Calm Mind, then that was like a really bad protect. I think I just attempted to trick him in Spore. Yeah, this could go bad. Okay, they go for Fake Out. This is probably Calm Mind then. Oh no, they just Earth Power, which is fine. Yeah, I take it pretty well. I'm able to get a free Trick Room up, and now I do threaten Spore, and I can Pollen Puff my Diancie to cover for Protect. So this is actually not terrible. Also, that shouldn't be Specs damage. I can go for Diamond Storm, and I can go for Pollen Puff into the Diancie. I don't think it's Specs Terapagos. Maybe I'm just... Wait, there's no way you underspeed Amoonguss, though. Yeah, okay. It might be Specs, actually. Like, the way they're playing, it seems like it might be Specs. Okay. Get Diamond Storm out to break Terra Shell. You get a defense boost, which is really nice. I'm thinking it's Specs. The way they're playing it seems like Specs, especially if you have Scary Face on that kind of attack. It does seem like it. They're going to Terra here, which I'm assuming they're going to go for Earth Power. Yep, with the Terapagos. Makes sense. I don't think Body Press knocks out Terapagos, but maybe I'm wrong. So we saw what? Scary Face and Fake Out. So it probably doesn't have screens. You go for Scary Face again. That makes sense because you want to Earth Power again and try to outspeed Amoonguss before it can Pollen Puff. Yep. Nice. And a free Spore into Terapagos. So this is a really nice turn. Then Missy terrain, it would have been ugly, but they would have went for it like several turns ago. That was the case. Now we can go for a Diamond Storm once again, or I could Body Press immediately for the damage. I kind of like the idea of going for the Diamond Storm again and just Pollen Puff my Diancie. It seems pretty solid. I could Spore the Grimmsnarl slot, but they might switch in Rillaboom, which is fine. Also, if I get the +5 defense, then I should be able to Oko the Terapagos. Okay, the turtle's asleep. I heal my Diancie. Like, what are they going to do? Spear Break, Foul Play? They do no damage. Diamond Storm. Good damage to Grim. Nice, another defense boost. I KO Terapagos guaranteed. They go for Foul Play. Cool. Now I can body press and I can spore the... What's the last our trick room? I always just gotta watch out for a potential Calyrex sweeping me in the end game, but I think I'm fine. I think I just pollen puff my Diancie. Or I rage powder here. Both are reasonable. I think I rage powder. Because I don't want to risk earth power doing too much to my Diancie slot, I think. Wait, they had taunt? Why didn't you go for taunt this entire time? Okay. They don't wake. Okay, that's nice. They get a free body press off. And goodbye Terapagos. So Turtle was a lot easier than I expected, so that works out pretty well for me. What's gonna happen next? I'm very surprised that they did that. They could have like went for taunt into the Amoonguss turn one. I guess they didn't want to risk Mentaler, but I'm very shocked. Are we gonna see Calyrex come in? All I need is damage. So I'm gonna just go for Diamond Storm and I'm gonna pollen puff my Diancie. Yeah, might as well just heal off the Diancie. I like the Diamond Storm pressure because the only mon I'm actually scared of is Volcarona due to the Rage Powder threat. They actually go for Protect, which is an interesting play. Protect Taunt? Interesting. Kind of curious because they already taunted my Amoonguss, so I don't get the Protect play on the Calyrex. I feel like now you want to take the offense. Or maybe they want the free switch into Ursh? If it's Ursh back, I still win regardless. All right, we heal. Yeah, I should be fine. I'm curious to, I mean, I think Astral Surging KOs my, oh, it is Volcarona. Okay, so I was right on it being Volcarona. They can't Terra, which is beautiful. I can go for a Diamond Storm pretty safely and just, I don't really want to switch out Amoonguss. I think it's tough. I think I just pollen puff the Calyrex to break a potential sash, I suppose. They go out for the Astral Barrage. This is not going to do any damage to my Diancie. Yeah, my Diancie is pretty bulky. They go for Flamethrower to KO my Amoonguss, which is perfectly fine. Now I should be in a pretty good position, especially if I hit one of the Diamond Storms, because it's not like the most accurate attack. Please hit one of them. Ideally the Volcarona. Okay, I missed the Volcarona. Not the worst. This could get ugly, but granted, I should be fine because I'm assuming Terra Electro Drift should take a knockout here. So I'm going to Diamond Storm and I'm just going to go for a Electro Drift. If I hit the Volcarona, I think I just auto one because I'm pretty sure that Okos. And now we just go for Terra Electro Drift. They cancel, which is surprising because they could win. If I mean, I think like they hope that I'm just not Scarf, right? Like, probably like their play and just hope that they can mega crit or something, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Diancie putting in work. Diancie Amoonguss putting in work against the Terapagos. I was actually surprised that that was Specs Terapagos. I felt like, oh, that was maybe just an offensive Terapagos with Calm Mind, but no, it was Specs Terapagos. And I was able to take it extremely well. I'm surprised they kept taunt that late, but you know what? I'll take it. All right, we have Chien Pao, Zamazenta, Tornadus, Urshifu, Dragonite, and Calyrex Shadow Rider. I do not like this matchup whatsoever. Okay, let's try to figure this out. What do they run on these teams? I think I always just lead Incin Miraidon. It's just so weird. If I had Kali Ice, this is so much easier because I can actually go for Trick Room. I can't go for Trick Room, or I could just lead Kali Ice. I can't really lead Diancie because of Urshifu Torn combo. I think the big question is, do I want Lando or do I want Amoonguss? I feel like I want Amoonguss because the Dragonite's really annoying to deal with. Even though Zamazenta, I'm going to have a lot more of a harder time hitting it. I mean, let's just do Miraidon plus Incin. It's not a terrible lead into most of the things that my opponent has. Amoonguss because it does give me Pollen Puff recovery and then bring Diancie in the back. This is going to be a tough one for sure. This is going to be a tough one. Ideally, if we can KO the Shadow Rider quickly, though, if we can KO the Shadow Rider quickly, Terra fighting Diancie actually goes crazy against this team. So let's see if we can accomplish that. But we are going to see the lead of Champion D-Knight. Okay, this is not a terrible lead, I'd say. All right, are you inner focus or not? Sort of ruin activates, intimidate. Are you inner focus? You're inner focus. Good to know. Okay. I think my play is just to always go. It might be just double swap actually. Yeah, because I don't want to risk Sacred Sword Eater into instant plus like Stomping Tantrum. So I think my best play is just to go Amoonguss here. Because they could Terra Normal, Extreme Speed, Sucker Punch. There's like a few plays that they could go for, but yeah, I think Diancie with the Electricity is the best play, as well as bringing out the Amoonguss. And luckily Diancie's in a good offensive spot because they can't have both Zamazenta, Shadow Rider, and Urshifu, so it's probably just Zamazenta, Shadow Rider back. We do see Terra, so this should be Terra Normal D-Knight, so they can't Terra anything else, which is nice. Are you going for E-Speed and a Miraidon? If you go for E-Speed and a Miraidon, Diancie should tank. Yeah, they go for E-Speed. Yep. They tank. I shard. Okay, perfect. As you saw, Diancie ate. It ate. Now, I do have Body Press. I think my best play, though, is just a Diamond Storm and Pollen Puff and get some recovery on the Diancie. Because they double up shouldn't KO Amoonguss. I guess I could protect Amoonguss too. Protect Amoonguss isn't that bad, but I don't want to give them momentum if they swap here, because it like Protect Amoonguss could be really obvious as well. I think I just Pollen Puff and Diamond Storm. They stay in, which I'm kind of shocked by. I thought they were going to try to get Zama in. That's bad. Oh, that's not great. Okay, I lose my Amoonguss. That is really not great. I don't think I KO'd a Pal either. I'm actually shocked. Granted, I still think Shadow Rider can do wonders in the end game, but it should be Sash Shadow Rider in the end game. Defense boost? Okay, defense boost is really good here. I can go out into Ensign. And I can get a U-turn Diamond Storm off, I suppose. I guess this isn't awful. Yeah, I can do a U-turn into D-Knight plus a Diamond Storm. Because I will have +5 or +3. I have +3 Diancie right now. Maybe I could get +5. I don't know if I'd be able to live like a... I think I could live probably Heavy Slam. Extreme Speed my Ensign. Yep. That does so much. Ruination. That's a nice dodge on Diancie. Okay. U-turn. Plus the D-Knight in range. Go out on the Miraidon. I think it's just going to come down to the Calyx Shadow Rider and playing a mind game of does it protect or not. Okay. Goodbye. That's a really nice defense increase, by the way. Okay, that's huge. All right, we got the KO on Chien-Pao and the D-Knight. They can't Terra anymore, which is huge because that means they lack firepower. Now it's just, can I beat the Shadow Rider plus Zama combination, which I think I can, because I think Instant lives in Astral Barrage, even at the low HP it's at with the Assault Vest, and then they're probably going to go for Astral Barrage Body Press. And as long as I break the Sash on Shadow Rider, I think I'm good. But if they protect, we're in a very dangerous spot. Actually, should I just bank on Heavy Slam not KOing and not Terra? I guess I don't have to Terra this moment, right? I think I just Diamond Storm and Volt Switch. Because they probably Body Pressed a Miraidon slot anyway. Okay, they didn't protect, which is huge. So I do get a Volt Switch off. I think with instant intimidate and +5 defense, I'll live Astral Barrage plus an attack from the Zama. So all Diancie has to do is clutch up here. Miraidon's also in a really good offensive position too. If I get rid of the Calyrex. Astral, I think I should live. And even I guess if I don't live with... Oh, wait, what? Oh, I didn't think instant actually went down. Maybe I overestimated instant a bit. Did I have Terra? Maybe. Oh, it's just body press. I should live. Oh, that did nothing. Please hit the Calyrex. No. Oh, that's so bad. Wait, that's so bad. I can win, but that's a really bad dodge. I think I electric drift Calyrex and I go for a terrifying body press with my Diancie. They protect, which is understandable. I could make a hard read, but I don't think I have to because body press doesn't knock out Miraidon. So that doesn't change anything. And I'm pretty sure that Diancie lives another body press. Yeah, they went for body press into Miraidon. I think it comes down to a target read as well as like if they get double protect. Oh. Never mind, Diancie might be... Wait. Have you ever seen Zamazenta get opened by a body press? Okay, I win the game guaranteed. I actually did not think Terra fighting body press at +5 was going to KO the Zama. It actually OHKO'd the Zama. Holy, that was huge. I guess the Ruination dodge did help out a lot, but I mean, you know what? I'm going to take it. I'm just going to take it. The battle is going to be forfeited. I didn't think we would actually live that, man. I didn't think we would actually, or that would actually KO. I didn't think that would KO. Okay, Diancie. Okay. Huge terrifying body press. Huge. All right, this is an interesting team. Indeedee, Ho-Oh, Gastrodon, Groudon, Ditto, and Murkrow. Murkrow's really annoying because it has haze access. Double ground against Miraidon. Fun. All right, let's see what we can do. I don't think I'm bringing Urshifu. Lando's pretty decent here. The only thing is, if I bring Lando, I think I have to bring Lando. But the thing is, I gotta really watch out positioning Lando because Lando, if I get copied by the Ditto, Lando reverse sweeps me. So I gotta be very careful. I actually think I'm leaving Miraidon behind. I don't think it's that good against the team. Which means I'm playing Psychic Terrain, which isn't great, but like I have to accept it, I think. I think I'll just lead Diancie plus Instant. With Lando Amoonguss back. Only one of Groudon or Ho could be the clear amulet. This is just a weird team and it has really good tools into me, unfortunately, because they have Storm Drain, Gastrodon. They have Urshifu, like even though it's in Sun, could actually do some stuff, but with Gastro there, I'm just never bringing it. Dealing with the Ho-Oh is going to be a bit annoying depending on the Terra. I need Amoonguss because I probably need to heal, and it's one of the only ground switches I have other than Lando. And I really don't like having to bring Lando, but I have to because I don't have a ground switch in otherwise. All right, Indeedee plus Ho-Oh. So this is a pretty good lead for me, I'd say. All right, are you clear amulets, Ho-Oh? Because that's a good question. Intimidate? Okay, that makes it easier because if the Groudon was clear amulet, I think it'd be harder. I think this is a very safe just Trick Room angle and you turn out the male Indeedee. Because then what I could do is I can Diamond Storm, I can get in a Amoonguss, and then Diamond Storm Spore threaten stuff. I also don't think they can threaten the Diancie at all, which I think is huge. Also, if they go Groudon, I think U-turn's always better anyway. Because they could hard switch to male entity into the Groudon. And that would not be fun if I just stay in. Even if I click knockoff. They do switch to male entity, so the U-turn was the correct play. Potentially, I could have knocked off. Groudon does come in. Okay, good. And the Ho is probably going to Terra, which means that I should have a good spot here. They do Terra. There's no way you grass Terra, because if you grass Terra in front of an instant, that's crazy. Are you like a water or something? Oh, stuck out. They get hit by knockoff, so that would be good for later. They Brave Bird the instant, that makes sense. Does a good amount of damage. And here's a U-turn into the Groudon. Okay. Into Lando or into Amoonguss? I think Amoonguss is always correct. I could see Protect Ho and Heat Crash the Amoonguss. I could also see them just go for Sacred Fire Heat Crash into both. I could Fairy Terra with Amoonguss, which is not an awful play. But I'm debating on, do I want to have the... Actually, I should never Fighting Terra in this matchup with the Entity still around. So I think my best play is just a Diamond Storm and go for the Fairy Terra and just go for a Spore into the Groudon. As long as it's not Safety Goggles or Lumberry Groudon, we should be fine. I'll also live any Sacred Fire in the sun. Like right now, I'm just in a prime position to spam Diamond Storm with the Diancie, which is good. Because if I get the defense boost, it's going to be very impactful. Granted, this Ho is a little bit annoying because since it's Ghost Terra, that means that it doesn't really mind my body presses from the Diancie. But yeah, we will Terra our Amoonguss, which should be in a good spot. We get a Spore off into Groudon. Because Precipice Blades is doing too much. Diamond Storm. Not bad damage to Ho. No defense boost, unfortunately. They're going to take a lot of recoil from the Brave Bird, though. Yeah, they just took a lot of recoil. They're in Diamond Storm range now. Okay, that's really nice. I think the play here is just a Diamond Storm, and the question is, what do I do with my... I don't want to go Lando. I could Sport a Ho-Oh. I don't think the Groudon can knock me out unless it's Choice Band. But if it's Choice Band and it gets it, but I don't want to Protect here either. I guess I could Protect, though. I guess there's nothing wrong with protecting. Or maybe it was to go instant and Diamond Storm to make sure Diancie doesn't go down. They protect Ho-Oh. Ideally, a defense boost on the Diancie this time with Diamond Storm would be great. Nope, but they do wake up. They go for Precipice Blades. Just don't be banned and we're fine. Okay. We can go for Diamond Storm and we can go for Spore. Into the Groudon. Nice. Okay. I could have like done something with Amoonguss, I guess. We could have got more Pollen Puff damage, but granted, like now we're in a pretty decent spot where they just don't have a switch into Spore on the Groudon slot. And I do threaten the Ho. Granted, they should be retreating here. Ideally, I get some Diamond Storm boost so I can actually like tank attacks with my Diancie, but we'll see. We're gonna see the swap out here. Is this Entity? No, it's a Ditto. Okay, that makes sense. But luckily, they transformed before they got any boosts. We get Spore off into Groudon. Boost Diancie. We need some boosts. Oh my goodness. Diancie, why? Diancie, why? I feel like I have to grade this position because I feel like I'm losing to Ho-Oh if I don't get a Pollen Puff off. I'm gonna risk it. Groudon, like, here's the thing. I'd have to get extremely unlucky here with not getting another Diamond Storm boost after going for 2 of them already. Plus, the Groudon has to get another single turn sleep. And then they have to connect blades. Like, there's a lot that they need to go right. And I love for, like, I have a decent amount of chances to get a bunch of things that could just go in my favor. So I think I'm willing to go for this. I'd rather not go into Lando and give them momentum. Okay, at least we live. Of course they get the first. Why do they get the boost, man? Why do they get the boost on the first try? Okay, finally. Okay. Not terrible. Not ideal. Not terrible. Gonna protect, go to Lando. It's passive, but I think it's fine to play passive here because I'm pretty sure Life of Earth Power can threaten the KO into the Groudon. I guess I don't know the speed tier on the Groudon, but I think we'll live a Diamond. I guess it's hard to say. What is this, man? At least it doesn't matter. Bring out the Lando, start threatening the Earth Powers. I guess the fear is if they switch out the Ditto, then they can copy my Lando, which is bad. Oh my god, they got another one. Stay asleep this time. I think my best play is to get a Trick Room up. I should live 1 Blades. I think I just Earth Powered a Ditto and try to get rid of the Ditto. I don't think they're likely to protect the Ditto because I think they could fear me going for Earth Power and a Groudon. And if I Earth Power Groudon, their protect, I think it's like really bad for them. But we'll see. This Ditto could get very scary. But I really don't think I can let them switch out the Ditto, KO the Groudon, and then they get a Lando out of me. Because I think if they get a Landorus Incarnate out of me, I'm in such a bad shape. They wake up and they go for Blades. Okay. And no Quick Claw this time. So this is actually the most ideal situation. So they were fast Groudon. Diancie is able to tank. I do get the Earth Power KO into their Ditto. Ditto was unironically the most massive threat that they had on their team for me. I get a crit KO. Doesn't matter. And now we get the Trick Room up. And now I think under the Trick Room, I should be able to sweep with the combination of Landorus, Diancie, and Incin. Unless their male entity is really slow for some reason. I guess a Ho-Oh could be like slow too, but I kind of doubt it. I'm pretty sure my Lando will probably underspeed the Ho-Oh. This Lando's really bulky. It has like no speed investment. Is that a risk I want to take? Maybe it's not. But they go Entity, so this is actually perfect here. So they go Entity. My play is always just to double up the Entity with Body Press and Earth Power. They don't have the Sun, so Heat Crash can't knock out my Lando. I'm like very confident that the Entity will. They might be hoping that, I don't know. I'm just pretty sure that this male entity is not slow, especially on a Tailwind, priority Tailwind team with Murkrow. I'm going for Earth Power and I'm going for Body Press. And the reason I'm going for Body Press is I'm not risking the Diamond Storm here, and the extra chip damage to Groudon, you know, maybe it matters if it's a Assault Vest on the Groudon, but they switch out to Groudon, so this actually works out huge for me. Because that means they don't even get a hit off. This hose in as I get a Body Press off. This Sash male entity, but I did double it. Nice. Okay, I think that locks the game. I feel like there's a speed interaction between Ho and Groudon we saw, but I can't remember who went first. Granted, I think my play is pretty simple. Just go for body press into Groudon and protect. They're gonna forfeit. I didn't think they had a chance to win because if I'm pretty I don't know what Groudon it is though. I feel like it is probably Assault Vest. If I body press the Groudon and they take the knockout on Diancie, I get instant in. I just click knock off into Ho-Oh, KOs it, and then Earth Power the Groudon and finishes off. So I'm pretty sure like I had a really good lock in for that game, but maybe there's some kind of shenanigans that could have happened. I think like the Ho would have had to underspeed my instant, which I just don't think is likely. Like I really don't. And I'm like pretty sure that I would have been good shape. Maybe Groudon reveals protect, but if it reveals protect, doesn't matter. I guess like if they protect Groudon, Ho attacks my Lando, then maybe it's a bit awkward, but I still think I could actually find a guaranteed endgame out of that with the combination of all 4 of my Pokemon at that point. So I think I would have still been fine, but yeah. All right, we have Calyx, Shadow Rider, Koraidon, Fluttermane, Walking Wake, Indeedee, and the Clefairy. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay, what do I bring here is a good question. I don't think Urshifu is being brought against the Sun team. Amoonguss is a tempting mon. It's not terrible against this team. I'm definitely bringing my restricted Diancie to get Trick-Room probably against this team. And the question is, do I lead Miraidon or do I keep in the back? Because I could see both realistically. I think I'm just going to lead Miraidon plus Diancie, I think, and then have Instant. Because like even if they lead Indeedee, I can just Snarl away. I can Snarl, get a special attack drop, which is actually pretty big. And they lead Fluttermane. I guess that's a bit annoying, but I should have counterplay. I think Lando, because I want the more offensive presence that Lando offers, especially against the Koraidon, which is a pretty big deal because my Diancie, unless it gets boost with Diamond Storm, can't really hit my opponent's Pokemon. So I think Lando's correct, but we'll see. Gonna see the lead of Walking Wake plus Calyx Shadow Rider. Interesting. Okay. They don't know I'm Scarf. The Walking Wake, if it's max speed, it does get access to the speed booster. So I actually forgot that Walking Wake is like, what, 177, I think, if it's max speed. So it could outspeed me and getting Koraidon. I guess that's fine. I think I just go for a Snarl here. The question is, what am I doing with you? Am I Trick Rooming or am I just Diamond Storming? Because I don't know if Miraidon lives to turn or not. If it goes down, I would probably want Trick Room. But I think I just am fine with going for a Snarl, Diamond Storm, and get some damage off. We're going to see a Terra come out immediately. Is this from Walking Wake? No, Calyx. What are you tearing? Terra Fire. What? That's a new one. Okay, that's fine with me. I get a free Snarl and Diamond Storm. Actually, this works out huge because it's weak to Diamond Storm now. And I get special attack drop into both. Yeah, no Covert Cloaks or Clear Amulets. Flip turn. Oh, it's policy. Oh, wait, if I just Electro Drift, it just went down. It just went down to the... Wait, if I just Electro Drift, I'm Scarf. I outspeed the Calyx, it goes down. Did they not think I was Scarf? Did they not fear the potential Scarf? They have no fear. They had no fear, man. I could have also like Volt Switch into Instant, so I don't get this play, but okay. Does this even KO my Miraidon? It definitely doesn't KO my Diancie. I'm like very confident it doesn't KO Diancie. Spanning Force. Okay, it doesn't KO either, and I get a free Diamond Storm. Great. Nice. I get a crit onto the Indeedee. That doesn't matter. I get the goodbye Calyx. Okay, nice. Okay. Also, it's Scarf Walking Wake. It is Scarf Walking Wake. Koraidon comes in. If they have flame charge, they're probably gonna flame charge. It's still not an easy. This is still not a easy position, but I always go instant here. Do I live psychic? Probably not. Although I think that's fine. Getting a free switch would be pretty ideal here. Yes. I didn't get the defense boost, so I think I always go for Trick Room here. Because if I get the Trick Room off, I can go for Knock Off, especially if I'm reading Flame Charge. If they go for a fighting move and a Psychic, it's going to be pretty bad, but there's really not a counterplay that I have to it. Clear Amulet? It is Clear Amulet, okay. Oh, they Flame Charge the Diancie. That doesn't KO though. What? They Dazzle? Does Dazzle KO me? Shadow Ball. Okay. Diancie might be goated. Diancie might be goated. They tear it already. All I have to do is just knock off the Entity. And Protect. I guess Protect is always my optimal play, right? Yes. Okay. Green knockoff into Entity. Oh, wait, it survives? Oh, because it's Psychic Seed. Wait, they high roll low kick? Oh, they crit me. Wait, this is really bad now. I thought they were just gonna Shadow Ball the Diancie and take the knockout. Why did I not Flare Blitz? Oh. Okay, this is still winnable, but like became so much worse. I need Miraidon to be faster than Koraidon, which is possible. Because they're gonna follow me and attack the Miraidon slot. I guess no, actually I just go for a Trick Room here. I go for a Trick Room Volt Switch. Because they are forced to follow me and they're gonna take the knockout on the Miraidon, right? Oh, they flame charged my Diancie. No, I think I'm cooked. I think I'm cooked. I needed them to go for my Miraidon. If they went for my Miraidon, I had a chance. Oh, I just misplayed hard by going for the knockoff. I should have went for the Flare Blitz and Sun. I forgot they didn't have an item. For some reason, I thought they were Rocky Helmet. I was not paying attention. Yeah, there's no chance of me winning here because they have 2 flame charges. 3 special attack booster? Okay. Yeah, no, it's cooked. They're gonna Hydro Steam my Lando and just go for the KO on the Miraidon because they know I'm Scarf. I need like an Earth Power Crit and a Koraidon. I need a lot of things to go right. I would need Hydro Steam for some reason. I would need them. Actually, no. I would need them to Draco with the Walking Wake. And then I would need them to attack my Miraidon, which they should attack my Miraidon with the Koraidon. And then Earth Power needs to crit their Koraidon. Yeah, they take the KO on the Miraidon. Oh, I should have just clicked Flare Blitz, man. Flare Blitz did more. They Hydro Steam, so this should be over because this should do way too much. That just no code because they crit. Okay, I mean the game didn't matter. I feel so silly, man. All I had to do was click Flare Blitz and the game was done. Or I could have clicked Diamond Storm, but I didn't want to be greedy because I was like, okay, because I thought the speed order was going to be Diancie, Entity, and Instant. That was probably likely the speed order. If I go for Diamond Storm and they go for Shadow Ball, I think it gets a bit of an awkward situation because I get Scarf Miraidon in next to Lando. And then I think the Walking Wake actually puts me in a weird spot, especially depending on the Koraidon speed tier, because I don't know how fast +1 Koraidon is. Like, it could be faster or it could be slower than my choice Scarf Miraidon. So I thought that was going to be awkward. So that's why I decided, hey, I should be able to get the KO, because I thought like, oh, this is Rocky Helmet. So that means after the chip damage I had done, Knockoff should get the KO. But also I kind of realized, wait, it was Psychic Seed, so I didn't knock off an item and I didn't get the extra boost, which was a problem because I didn't KO and then they reverse Trick Room. If I just get a Flare Blitz off, I do win the game because Sun Boosted Flare Blitz should take the knockout into the Entity. And then if I wanted a chance, I needed them to hope they target Miraidon instead of my Diancie, because I do get Trick Room up with Diancie, and maybe there's a chance, but yeah. Diancie, it's definitely an interesting Pokemon. Its typing is really strange. Its bulk is actually pretty solid though, and we were able to see that Diancie was able to take attacks pretty well for the most part. Is it the best? No, I think Cali Ice does officially probably work better with the team, but I do think the team had good enough full equips to just really help support the Diancie and allow it to actually perform pretty decently. So is it the best Pokemon? No, but at least it wasn't like a total letdown. I think it was able to do some really great stuff, especially be able to tank attacks, especially with the Electric Seed. And the Diamond Stars were actually adding up because it's not a bad damage. Even with no investment, it was actually able to do quite a bit of solid damage across the board. So yeah, Diancie was fun. If you would like to check out the details of the team, they'll be in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.